Night 1 of WrestleMania 42 didn't quite live up to expectations, which put WWE in a very tough spot heading into Night 2. So the big question was simple. Did they course correct and finally deliver that true WrestleMania feel? Well, let's recap Night 2 of WrestleMania 42, along with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Night 2 kicked off with Brock Lesnar facing Femi, and right away the crowd felt far more alive than they did on Night. The chants for Oba were loud, the energy was there, and it really felt like Vegas had finally woken up. Early on, Oba disrupted Lesnar's momentum, and it almost looked like we were about to get a repeat of Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series 2016, but that wasn't the case. The fight spilled to the outside. Lesnar regained control with multiple suplexes and even hit an F5. But from there, Oba took over. A chokeslam followed by fall from grace, secured a quick and shocking win for the ruler. But what happened after the match was even bigger. Oba made his way up the ramp looking like the next big thing, while back in the ring, Brock Lesnar sat there looking emotional. Then he took off his gloves and left them in the ring. Fans knew exactly what was happening. Brock was holding back tears as he then removed his boots and left them behind too. Brock Lesnar had just retired from WWE. He embraced Paul Heyman and then walked to the back with one final goodbye to the WWE Universe. An insane way to start WrestleMania Night 2. Next up was the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, and this one was fast-paced and high-risk from the very beginning. Javon Evans and Jade McDonough teased an early climb, but things escalated fast once everyone got involved. Penta came out in a sick Shao Kahn-inspired look and wasted no time going full chaos mode. There were huge crashes, brutal ladder spots, and some crazy near falls throughout. Dragon Lee also had standout moments, while Evans looked like he was on the verge of winning before everything broke down again. In the closing stretch, Penta struck with another destroyer, climbed the ladder, and secured the IC Championship. A wild match and a strong WrestleMania moment for Penta. Next up was the United States Championship match between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, who had Lil Yachty in his corner. Once the match got going, both men had a solid back-and-forth exchange. Zayn controlled parts of it and pushed the pace, but outside involvement later shifted the momentum. In the closing moments, Sami looked like he was building toward a comeback, only for Trick to counter and connect with the trick shot to secure the win. Trick Williams is now the new United States champion, and that is a huge moment for him. After that, Dominic Mysterio went one-on-one with Demon Finn Balor, and this turned into a brutal street fight. Balor controlled a lot of the match early, using weapons and throwing Dominic around ringside. Mysterio fought back as much as he could, but once the demon gets rolling, it becomes a different kind of fight altogether. After a series of chair shots and punishing attacks, Balor placed Dominic on a table and then delivered a coup de grace through it to pick up the victory. This was a big win for the demon character, especially after some major losses over the past few years. Next up, Jade Cargill defended the WWE Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley. Cargill started strong, using her power and keeping Ripley under pressure early. Ripley absorbed it, slowly worked her way back into the match, and then, of course, we got the interference that created a distraction at ringside. Cargill capitalized with a near fall, but then Ripley's backup arrived as Io Sky got involved and took out the outside problems. That opened the door for Ripley to regain control, hit the Riptide, and score the win. Rhea Ripley is once again the women's champion. Then it was time for the main event as CM Punk defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. Right from the start, both men brought intensity, trading shots in and out of the ring while constantly talking trash. Reigns eventually took control, landing a Superman punch and then sending Punk into the steel steps, busting him open. He followed that up with a running powerbomb through the announce table, and there was carnage everywhere. Punk fought back, even tried to turn the tide with some veteran tricks, but Roman would not stay down. In the closing stretch, Punk drove Reigns through the announce table with an elbow drop and looked ready to finish it. But he collapsed, trying to follow up. That was the opening Roman needed. 2 spears later, Roman Reigns pinned CM Punk and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Reigns celebrated with his family as WrestleMania Night 2 came to a close. Now let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. Starting with the good. First of all, the visual change for Night 2 was a really nice touch. WWE changed the color palette and overall look of the show, which helped separate the 2 nights and gave Night 2 its own identity. Another fun moment came when ESPN got booed. John Cena got a huge reaction when he appeared, but the crowd turned the second ESPN was mentioned. And that anti-ESPN energy stayed consistent through the weekend. Another major positive was Femi. His clean win over Brock Lesnar felt like a true passing of the torch moment. Michael Cole even referred to him as the next big thing, directly calling back to Brock's old nickname. And honestly, it fit perfectly. Oba looked dominant, Lesnar sold big for him, and the whole thing made Oba feel like a future superstar. Of course, Brock Lesnar's retirement was another huge talking point. The moment felt emotional, real, and genuinely shocking. The look on Brock's face, the embrace with Paul Heyman, and the crowd chanting, "Thank you, Brock," all made it feel like the end of an era. The ladder match was another big positive. It was chaotic, packed with risks, and still held together well. Javon Evans stood out in a massive way, and Dragon Lee also reminded everyone how good he is. Demon Balor returning was another plus, especially because the character needed a meaningful win. The presentation was strong, the finish was brutal, and it finally felt like the Demon aura mattered again. Rhea Ripley getting the title back was also a strong call. She felt like one of the biggest stars in the women's division this weekend. The main event entrances also deserve praise. CM Punk's entrance had deeper meaning with several tributes woven into his gear, while Roman Reigns had that unmatched aura that made the match feel massive. And when the bell rang, they delivered. The hatred, the tension, and the physicality all came through. Even with a questionable no DQ moment involving the steel steps, this still felt like the best match of WrestleMania and one of the strongest main events WD has put on in a long time. As for the bad, Rusev still feels like a missed opportunity. Even though Penta retained, Rusev looked dominant in parts of the ladder match and still walked out with nothing. The crowd clearly still cares about him, but WWE has not done much with him since his return. Commercial mania was also still a problem. Even on the better night, the ad presence remained noticeable, and the Hulk Hogan documentary promotion was excessive. Another issue was the little details, especially in the women's title match where Jade entered first despite being champion. That says a lot about how WWE views her and matches the way her title run was booked. And while Roman winning made sense inside the story, there is still a fair question about putting a major title on someone with a limited schedule when Punk had been positioned as the full-time fighting champion. Nothing on this show really felt downright ugly. The main takeaway is simple. Night 2 absolutely cleared Night 1 by a mile. It felt more focused, more consistent, and far more like a true WrestleMania. The card had better momentum, the main event delivered, and stars like Oba Femi and Trick Williams walked away looking bigger than ever. Night 2 didn't just save the weekend. It reshaped the entire event and gave WrestleMania 42 the ending it badly needed.